Hey, it's Tristan Camp with another help video tip. This one's going out to Sandy. And Sandy, you were asking me about how I like to make my cinnamon bread or my cinnamon rolls. And the way that I do it is I get my bread, and when you're making a sweet bread, you're going to want to use the sweetest sweetener. So if you're looking at my recipe, you're gonna go with the sweetest white sweetener, and that would be probably white sugar. And I like to get my white sugar and dissolve it in a cup of warm water, and usually one of the cups of water that I'm gonna use for my bread. So dissolve the white sugar, add it in with your yeast, and just use the same amount of sugar as you would. And then when you're making a sweet bread, you want to put all the add-ins at the maximum. And so for your oil, I would probably use a stick of butter, a whole stick of butter. Butter makes everything better. And melt that down and add it in place of your oil. And then I would add probably 2 or 3 or maybe even 4 eggs to my batter. So remember, this is going to make a very wet batter. And when you have a very wet batter, you're going to have to add a lot more flour when you are trying to form it into a ball and scraping along the sides of the bowl. And so then once you've got it into a pretty firm ball, you dump it onto your cool, dry surface, and then you're going to roll it out with a rolling pin. And I like to roll it out to be about a 1/4 inch thick to a 1/2 inch thick. And so you're going to roll it out like a giant pizza. And then what I like to use for my filling, most common is people just use brown sugar and cinnamon. But I like to soften a block of cream cheese. So get a block of cream cheese, soften that, spread it all over. Then I add my brown sugar and cinnamon. Then I like to roll it up, okay? And for me, I'm not a real big fan of cinnamon rolls. And so what I like to do is I like to after I roll it up, I've got a giant log, I cut the ends off, and then I like to cut it in the middle into 2 separate loaves. And then I put it in a loaf pan, and then I put it in the oven to bake. I bake it at 350 and let it bake. You're gonna let it rise first, but then let it bake at 350, and it's gonna take a while. Make sure that it's really nice and brown, because you really don't want to have it be raw, because you've got that brown sugar in the middle. You don't want it to be raw, so just let it cook until it's really nice and brown. Once it's nice and brown, then take it out, and then you're gonna make a cinnamon roll glaze. And basically all that is milk, powdered sugar, and a little bit of vanilla. Okay, so milk, powdered sugar, and a little bit of vanilla. Let your bread cool till it's about warm. And you don't want to put this on when it's hot, till about warm. And then take it out. So you take it out, let it cool till it's about warm, and then you put it on a plate and pour your glaze over the top, and then slice it into slices. That's how I like it. If you want to do the rolls, though, when you have it in the big log, then you can slice it into 1-inch rolls and then put it in a cake pan. Cook it the same way, 350 till it's really well done, and then take it out, each individual roll, and then cover with that glaze. And so you could do milk, powdered sugar, and a little bit of vanilla, or you could go milk, butter, powdered sugar, and a little bit of vanilla. So I hope this helps you out. I hope this answers your question for cinnamon rolls. I like to do cinnamon loaves personally, and I think that's my all-time favorite. In fact, if you do a cinnamon loaf, those are fantastic for making French bread. So hope this helps you. If you have any questions, write me at tristancamp@live.com, and I'll be happy to answer any more of your questions. Look forward to more helps. And this is Tristan Camp saying, bake bread often, break bread often with your friends. Take care.